Commander Yael Oren pressed her palm against the cold observation glass and watched the earth turn below, slow, indifferent, breathtaking. From up here, the Pacific was a shade of blue that had no name in any language she knew. She had tried, early in the mission, to describe it in her personal log. She eventually gave up and simply wrote, "Blue, but more so." 17 months. That's how long she'd been up here. Long enough to forget the smell of rain, the weight of her own body, the way a mattress feels when it actually pushes back. Long enough to dream in microgravity, her sleeping mind refusing to place her feet on any solid ground, as if it had quietly made peace with the void while she wasn't paying attention. She had spent the morning cataloging soil samples from the last Mars analog experiment. Routine, mechanical, good. Routine kept the feelings at bay until she was ready for them. There was a kind of mercy in checklists. Each small box ticked was a wall between her and the enormity of what tomorrow meant. At 1400, she let herself float to the window again. She figured she'd earned it. From 250 miles up, you could trace the scar of the Amazon, watch storm systems spiral like slow-motion galaxies, pick out the faint gray smudge of cities that held millions of lives, all of them looking up at the sky for reasons they couldn't quite name. She used to be one of those people. She remembered standing in her backyard at 9 years old, neck craned, absolutely certain that something up there was worth the trouble of reaching. She thought about what people always asked astronauts. Does Earth look fragile from up there? It didn't, actually. It looked stubborn, blue and alive and utterly unimpressed with the distance she'd put between them. If anything, Yael felt like the fragile one, a small collection of bones and ambition sealed in a metal tube, held together by engineering and stubbornness and the occasional good night's sleep. Her daughter, Priya, had sent a video message 2 days ago. 7 years old now, she'd had a birthday up here, celebrated with a pouch of freeze-dried cake and a video call that lagged just enough to make every laugh feel like an echo. In the message, Priya held up a hand-drawn sign that said, "Come home, Mom!" in uneven red letters, the O's slightly too large, the way a child's letters always are when they're concentrating very hard on something that matters. Yael had watched it 4 times. Her crewmate, Dmitri, drifted past with 2 sealed pouches of coffee, the bad kind, the only kind they had. He handed her one without a word. They'd long since stopped needing words for the big moments. 17 months in close quarters either destroyed a friendship or turned it into something that didn't require much maintenance. Theirs had become the latter, quietly and without ceremony, somewhere around month 4. They floated there together, watching one final sunset bleed orange and violet across the Pacific. Up here, a sunset lasted about 90 seconds before the station swept into darkness again. Yael had seen hundreds of them and had never once looked away early. Tomorrow, the capsule, the suits, the checklist of checklists, then the fire of re-entry, that terrifying, glorious 4 minutes when the plasma would swallow them whole and they'd have no choice but to trust the math. Then parachutes, then the cold slap of ocean water, then hands reaching in to pull them out, and the sky above, the sky she'd been inside, finally becoming just the sky again. And then, somewhere after the debriefs and the medical checks and the long flight back, grass, real grass under her feet, Priya's arms around her neck, the smell of someone cooking something in another room. Yael took a sip of her terrible, wonderful, weightless coffee and let herself feel the full size of it, the waiting, the wanting, the strange grief of leaving a place you were never supposed to love. Almost, she thought, watching the earth turn. Almost home.